room should be for living, a place to relax and socialize, even if it's tiny.
But if it feels uncomfortable or looks cramped, it could negatively impact how you feel.
Today, we're sharing top small space design ideas from tiny homes around the country. You'll learn simple tricks to maximize the comfort, functionality, and beauty of a tiny living room.
Plus, how to create an illusion of space to make your room feel twice as big.
Studio style or open concept floor plans are the norm in tiny homes. Often, it's out of necessity to try to pack as much function into every square inch as possible.
So my tiny house definitely has that open concept feel because directly connected to my kitchen is my living room. I tried to plan out my living room as carefully as possible. In my design plans, I'd already owned this couch. I measured things out and said, okay, my living room needs to be at least this long. These two pieces, I joined them together, purchased from Wayfair. I bought it after I moved into the tiny house. What I'm trying to accomplish is storage that also utilizes the space above these wheels. Measuring things out, I found this and was like, that's perfect. I bought 2 of them, and what it is, storage for my shoes. And mirrors, windows, they make a tiny space look much larger, so there you go. I wanted to have additional storage for my blankets, and I also wanted to be able to put my feet up. I knew I wasn't necessarily going to have a standard coffee table in my house, so this serves as my coffee table and footrest. This is also something new that I purchased literally this month. It's a digital frame, keeping in mind my limited wall space. I can have all my pictures just rotating through and not have to be on display individually. The shelves, I came up with this concept so it serves as a display place, and also since I don't have a coffee table, this is where you set your drinks. And then behind my couch, some people may find this funny, but I think it's pretty practical. It's my extra storage place for my dry goods because there is precious 6 inches of storage space all behind my couch.
Eliminating interior walls also enhances a sense of openness and allows more light to fill the space.
I am a huge fan of the L-shaped couch because it gives you what I call good views and long views. If I sit here, I'm looking down the length of the house, which honestly is my favorite thing to look at. But I also have the option of sitting here and looking straight out a window. Either way, I have a good view and I have a long view.
There are benefits to a separate room for your living space, like creating a more private retreat feel from the rest of the house.
Bo and Peggy's tiny home is a great example. They used a set of French doors to create some privacy, so if one of them wants to hang out in the living room while the other works, they're not bugging each other. But the glass doors maintain an open feeling and still let light in to the rest of the house.
Even without interior walls or doors, you can create a distinct feeling tiny living space. It's all about creating an intentional layout with your furnishings. Area rugs, for instance, can create a boundary from the rest of the house. You can create a visual barrier with strategic furniture placement, or often in tiny homes, it's the kitchen counter that acts as a divider. Add a healthy dose of cozy ambiance with lighting and decor to make your tiny living room feel distinct from the rest of the house.
So starting behind me is our living room. When designing the home, we decided we wanted a cozier feel. So with this living room, it might be a little smaller to some people, but it's a distinct room and it's super cozy for us and we like it. So because the space was so small, we had to actually have a couch that was custom ordered to the exact width and length of the room. It also has storage underneath it. The legs are about 5.5 inches, so it lifts the couch up off the ground. And within doing that, we were able to use totes for extra shoes, socks, blankets. We also took this ottoman from the motorhome and works well because Ed will lay here and I'll lay here and we'll scoot the ottoman up and watch television this way. But most importantly, it has shoe storage. With the coziness of the space, we decided to add a fireplace. It's an electric fireplace, but it puts out quite a bit of heat and the ambiance is nice.
My lips feel eternally dry, and I'm not crazy about how it accentuates my lip lines. So I'm excited to level up my skincare routine with City Beauty's Lip Fix Plus bundle. It's just 3 simple steps, so it should easily fit into my daily routine. City Beauty offers skincare and beauty products designed to nourish skin, enhance natural beauty, and support long-term skin health with science-backed formulas. Okay, first up, line therapy to nourish my lip line and the area above to help smooth lines, wrinkles, and pesky corner creases. Next, City Lips Plumping Lip Gloss for extra smoothing and, my favorite, instant plumping action. And before bed, it's time for the night oil for overnight deep hydration and volumizing action. I truly appreciate how these enhance my natural look instead of masking it, because my goal is to feel healthy and look radiant, no matter my age. Try City Beauty for yourself and use our code TINYHOUSE to save 20% on your order at the link below.
Windows are probably the best way to make a tiny living room feel way, way bigger.
The more, the merrier. But if you want to conserve some wall space, you can use clear story windows on one of your walls so you still let in natural light, and that will give you more place to hang art or to put storage.
One giant picture window or floor-to-ceiling windows will make your living room feel massive and can elevate the design of the entire tiny home.
Tall or vaulted ceilings can make all the difference. Without the 10-foot tall ceilings in our tiny living room, this space would feel, I think, unbearably cramped.
People that come to our house always say that it feels much bigger than it looks from the outside.
Often when people comment on one of our tiny home tours that the home isn't really tiny, I think it's because of the extra tall ceilings. Like in Christo's 450 square foot house on foundation.
Welcome to my home. This is relatively 384 square feet, not including the lofts. At the tallest point, it is actually 15 feet, and that really helped me get more of a sense of spaciousness.
I think the best way to literally extend your tiny home's living space is to build a front porch. And a covered front porch is ideal because you can use it year-round.
One thing I love about my tiny is my wraparound deck. It's a partially wraparound, and it's been great to have the size that it is. It's really been a way we can really gather and hang out. Welcome to my house. It is 399 square feet. Some of the things I did, I wanted to make sure that I had tall floor-to-ceiling light that could come in, and I built it in the doggy door. So one of the things I love for my dogs to be able to go through here, so I just lift that up, and then they have the space outside, which has been great for them and very convenient. When we built the space, I already had this couch, and we measured it in advance to make sure that it fitted. The space here, I use it for work, watching TV. It is a gathering space, so I've got lots of seating area. The 2 bar stools here, and then I've got other seating that I can move around the house and fit up to 8 people in the living room. One thing I love about this living room space is the lighting, and it feels very open. So we built the windows to where if I sit down on the couch, it feels very private, but yeah, I'm getting all the light. I've got windows behind me. The shades that come down, they're automatic. And then how I did the curtains. So there's 4 panels, and I can get as much light or privacy as I want. So I can completely wall it off, or if it's a beautiful day, have it wide open and make it an inside-outside type of atmosphere. So one thing on a tiny that's fun is that you can make little pops of things. And one of the things I want to do was have a chandelier. Could have opted for a fan, but I wanted to opt for a little bit of glam, so I went with a big chandelier.
Let's face it, in a tiny home, your living room needs to be multifunctional. In the very least, you need supplemental storage for things like linens. But at the most, it can also serve as a dining area, office, and closet.
These two are great examples. One's 128 square feet, the other is 375.
So in the back of the house, we have the living room, and we opted for the front door to be at the tail end of the kitchen. And the reason for that is because we wanted to have all these as usable walls, because once you put a door here, it's kind of like stuck as the entryway. We wanted this picture window because obviously it lets in a lot of light, but it makes the space feel a little bigger. We don't feel as trapped. We were really glad we could do that. So here is our like TV console. I game, so I have a PS4 that actually gets tucked in this nook here, and I have an Xbox One, and I swap them whenever I'm switching games. And this console is actually a bench from Aldi's. And we looked at it and we saw the dimensions on it and we were like, that's what we need in our living room.
It's got cabinets here, which I make jewelry, so I have a ton of craft supplies. So they tuck away nicely in there. And underneath, there's enough space that we can hide some of our shoes. So that's really nice. Those were all the things that we really wanted in a TV console, which is kind of like a catch-all for a lot of things.
Yeah. We got this craft cart because our laptops were like thrown around in the living room. We're like, okay, we really need a place to put these. Ashley crafts, so that really helps her because she can keep all her supplies organized. Over here we have our ottoman that also doubles as a storage ottoman. It has our winter clothes and some extra backpacks. Winter clothes are really bulky, so we don't want to hang those up, or otherwise you have to store them in the car or something. So once we finally got this, really helped keeping it all contained.
We have this awesome couch. It's from Joybird. It's super comfy. We like that it has deep seats.
I was really big on the deep seats because being in other tiny homes, a lot of them, you know, for saving space, they're like those skinnier bench seats. But I was like, nah, I want to like chill and game.
And when we had it delivered, I was kind of in a panic because it would not fit through the door unless you took the feet off.
And the door off.
And yeah,
so with taking the door off and the feet, it fit.
It fit.
We like having these like little like trinkets, and we like tiny things, so little decorations. And I was like, I really want to do something with this corner. And then we went to Target and I just came across this like set of shelves, and it came with 4 pieces actually. So these 2 are the same size, and then it has 2 of these small ones, and I actually put the other small one underneath in the closet that actually holds our internet router, which is really nice because that was also kind of a mess, just like kind of floating around in the living room. And then up here we have our storage loft that we tried to keep as organized and looking great as possible. So we got those gray bins that we try to keep looking uniform, and then Ashley has some craft supplies up there. And on the other side of the living room, we have these stairs and a built-in closet. So this is actually our dining table / craft table. So when we're using this table, the feet are really great because they're just like these 2 sides. It just opens up as these 2 legs. So that's awesome, so that we can put the ottoman in the middle and the legs kind of straddle that. So that makes it easy where we can eat dinner and have our feet up. Or also if Ashley's crafting and I can be tucked away in this corner and I can have my feet up while I'm gaming and she's crafting. So that's really cool.
We're currently in our living room. This is where we hang out most of the time. We have a cabinet here for our office supplies, a cabinet for our shoes. So the builder offered this 2-foot bump out. So we suggested a desk, but we also needed a table to sit at. So they found this IKEA table that seats 4, and they built the desk around that table. So we can pull this table out when we want to seat 4 here in the living room, say on a rainy day. So we have numerous heating and air sources here in this house. We have a mini split here. We also have a wood stove, which we really enjoy. The reason we have these multiple heat sources is so if we have power outage, we still have a heat source. This is our 3rd couch that we've had in this home. The first couch was a beautiful couch, had storage underneath for linens, as well as created like a queen-size bed. However, it sat like a rock. It was not comfortable at all. So we traded that out, and we eventually found this one on Facebook Marketplace. It's secondhand, but it's been a great and comfortable couch. So one change we did to this couch is we added some caster wheels. So sometimes we wheel it around so we can watch a movie. In addition to that, we built a drawer to store some of our shoes. So you can see here. The TV is on a mount that pulls down. So this allows it to be above this window, but pulls it down to a level that we can enjoy a TV.
Choosing the right furniture is essential for maximizing storage, but be sure to take your time to consider all the options. Beyond function, you want your furniture to be comfortable and look good. In my opinion, this can make or break the vibe of your tiny home.
But if you want to maximize your space and functionality, custom is the way to go.
Welcome to the inside of our tiny home.
One thing you'll notice when you walk in is there's a lot of light. There are 14 windows.
One of the cool things about our sofa is that it is a transformer. It has 3 different uses. It is a sectional sofa. It is a dining area with a table, and it is also a day bed and serves for hosting guests. And we had custom cushions made, of course, in teal. And we also had custom cushion covers made for the dogs, and they're washable. So we worked with our friend and local cabinet maker to build this custom sofa. All of the drawers are storage, and this drawer pulls out to create a day bed. We have cushions that are placed on top of this, and you can see too, this is our tabletop. So this thing right here is a screw-in table stand that you will see on boats, and so we put the tabletop on top of here, and we use this when it's too cold or too hot outside for most of our dining. We also store our post for the table up here. It's kind of out of sight, out of the way. We also have a ladder, and it's a lightweight RV ladder that we store up here, again out of the way, for our secondary loft up here. So since we've been living in the space for 5 years, our space has changed over time. And this used to be my office up here. I had a sitting desk up here and would work half the time from home. And Nathan would have a standing desk here and work also from home. And so now we use this space for reading, for playing guitar, for playing games. It's just kind of a fun little reading nook loft.
When it comes to built-in sofas, splurge on the ultra high density foam.
Oh yeah, your butt will thank you, trust me.
There are more small space sofas on the market than ever before. So many cute options, but they're not all built to last. A word of warning, read the reviews carefully, especially for feedback on comfort.
Like that L-shaped IKEA sofa, it has the ottoman that has storage in it. So many tiny houses have that, but they end up getting rid of them after a few years because it gets less and less comfortable because of the cushions.
There are many standard size sofas that can work in tiny living rooms. It might just mean sacrificing some extra open floor space.
But if it's comfy, it's totally worth it.
Look for options with legs, because getting your sofa off the ground can make your space feel more open, but you can also slide storage underneath.
In tiny homes on wheels, just don't forget about the wheel wells.
There are some great examples of people modifying their sofa to fit over the wheel wells, like taking off the back legs. And in Michelle and Saul's tiny home, they found an IKEA sofa that actually sat on top of the wheel well perfectly. Here's a quick roundup of great tiny home sofa options.
The couch is all storage, so all of this opens up. This couch is by Home Reserve, and the model is the Juvie.
The best part about this living room is this built-in couch. I see people with regular couches, but I'm like, you don't have what I have. There is a ton of storage underneath this couch, and you would not believe how much I can fit in here. Because I like to cook, I have extra appliances and extra pots and pans and extra stoneware from Pampered Chef and everything else stuffed under here. So my couch is really comfortable. I had custom made cushions, and they're 7 years old and they're still comfortable. this actually makes into a bed. So I have another piece that slides in here, but you actually don't even need it because this couch is so wide. And I sleep here when I have guests from out of town, and of course I give them the bed because that's what a good hostess does.
The best tiny living rooms for you are all about designing around your priorities, and the thoughtful details make a huge difference. Consider how important open floor space and seating are to you. If you want flex space for exercising or hosting a game night, then prioritize open floor space. If socializing isn't a priority, then just think about how to make it as cozy as possible for you.
Let's get real. All of us watch TV, so you really have to consider TV placement, because if you put your TV way too high, it is going to hurt your neck after a while, so consider it.
And believe it or not, you could fit a giant TV if you really want to. But it's important to think about the optimal viewing distance given the screen size.
Yeah, putting a 72-inch TV 5 feet away is too much like IMAX.
Also, you might not want the TV to be the focal point of your tiny living room. There's options for storing your TV when not in use, like in a cabinet.
Ours is kind of like that. It slides down into the desk that we've made.
A projector screen is another way to go. You only set it up when you want it, but the room needs to be dark enough.
So it makes it hard to watch your soaps in the afternoon.
And frame TVs are an excellent option for displaying art when you're not watching your shows. Leo and Shannon couldn't figure out where to put their TV, so they hung it from the ceiling on a super fancy sliding track. And yes, you can manage wires with something like this. You just need something called a drag chain, and that will allow the wires to move with the TV and keep it tidy. We've toured hundreds of tiny homes at this point. Here are a few exceptionally well thought out tiny living rooms. The last one is probably the most unique design we've ever seen.
As you walk this way, you come into my living room, which has storage space on one side and a fireplace and a television set, which were both important to me. And then in the living room area, I also have this sofa that I bought specifically to fit the space, and it rolls out like a futon, so I can have extra space for guests as well. As the Corraleses were building the house, the measurements were really important to me so that I could order the right furniture to fit. And so before I ordered the sofa and the bed, I had them measure to tell me the exact number of inches of space I had so that I could make sure that what I was buying was going to fit and work in the space. One thing that I didn't really take into account when I was doing the measurements was the space that the wheel wells take up on either side. And Danny was able to come up with a solution on the closet side. He elevated the closets and left the bottom part open so I can put baskets under there. And then on the other side, under the window, I included a kind of a sofa shelf behind the sofa that kind of makes up for that empty space. And I use all of that space for storage. On this side, I have a lot of storage. They're prefab cabinets that Danny was able to install pretty quickly, and one of them is used as a utility closet, and the other one is used as a coat closet. And they both are right below the upper windows, and so I can have plants and things up there as well. And then in the center, I wanted to have a fireplace, and so this is a gas fireplace that will actually be able to help heat the unit and also provide a nice warm feeling. And then there was, again, the exact measurement between the two cabinets was determined by the size of my television set. Everything fits because we designed it that way. Overall, this space works great, and I've been able to really make it feel like a home. And I brought a lot of decorating things with me. Some fit and some didn't. But again, you just make the choices of what's going to work best. And you find ways to compromise.
So back into our living room, we wanted to create a place that could be cozy and that we could sit around in a circle. This also plays into the multi-leveled design element to the house. Here is our couch, which inside this full space is storage. And in that storage area, we've got our bulkier kitchen equipment. Our couch turns into a full-size bed. The cushion is a mattress pad that's folded over 3 times to create this space, and then that doubles as a mattress for when it turns into the bed. Beside me, we also have our record player and our speaker. This is hardwired into the record player and a Bluetooth speaker. Just in the space, you can just hook up our phones to it and listen to music, and it fills the space really well. Another important thing that we needed to include as we were designing this house was a place to store musical instruments that was climate controlled. Sophia's a musician by trade, and we have a lot of instruments. And so we created this storage space right here off of our living room and in the main climate of the house so that we could store our instruments safely. The reason our kitchen is so elevated is because as we were designing the house and looking at what other people have done, what we felt was lacking was adequate storage. People maximize storage all the time in a tiny house, and we've done the same. But what about gear, camping gear, winter sweaters, skis, whatever it might be? And so we need to create a space to hold them. And that's why we created this tiered, elevated kitchen. Underneath is 33 inches of height that's accessible from the outside of the house, and the full width, 8 feet deep by 10 feet wide, 33 inches high storage compartment. This little stove cranks. You can heat this space so easily, and especially in the winter, it's so nice because it's such that warm, dry heat that's really comforting. You can curl up on the couch and read a good book.
So which one was your favorite tiny living room? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you're looking for more small space design inspiration, watch our downstairs bedroom tiny house designs episode right now.